sea freight. That's the answer, Mr Chair.
Mr Chair.
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Chair, interesting contribution from the previous member, although I have to say I've heard it all before. Of course, he's from the party that hasn't seen a road it likes, ever, and is unlikely to, so we should probably just cope with that. He also hasn't seen a tax he doesn't like, and in fact neither has anybody on that side of the House. They love a new tax. A good week isn't until you've introduced a new tax on that side of the House. If it moves, tax it. And of course, the latest solution from the Greens is to add another tax add another tax in Auckland to go with all the other taxes that they want to add. Just think, if we'd actually had all the taxes that the left have advocated for over the last few months, we would be absolutely have a New Zealand which would be looking very, very down in the mouth at this point, instead of coming out of the recession, which is what's happening right now. The other thing I should mention in response to the member, of course, is that this great fiction that we're not investing in the railway business, because of course we are, and very, very significantly. Of course, again, the member hasn't seen a train track he doesn't like, in the same way he hasn't seen a road he does like. But we are spending very significant sums in not only in Metro Rail, but also in seeking to turn around Kiwi Rail, which, as we know, is a very, very big challenge. And the second $250 million of seed capital that the government has put in has gone into Kiwi Rail, and as a result of this budget, and with a third one to come, it's a very, very challenging turnaround. It was in very, very poor shape, and it won't be easy to do. But it is effectively $4.6 billion over 10 years to turn that organisation around. And of course, the government is investing very significant sums of money into Auckland Metro commuter rail. Again, that doesn't suit the member's story, but nevertheless, it's occurring. No, actually, completely wrong, Shane. And you do need to get that checked out, because the reality is that the Labor Party wanted to have a 10-cent a litre regional fuel tax in Auckland. That was Labor's policy. We cancelled it. We cancelled that tax, and we put the money in directly. Into the electrification. So this government has paid for the electrification that's currently being built in Auckland. Slightly unpalatable for the Labor Party. They would have rather had their 10-cent a litre regional fuel tax. I invite them to campaign on that at the upcoming election, because that'll be very popular, alongside the congestion tax that they're also promoting at the upcoming election. You won't be able to move as a motorist in Auckland, because every 10 seconds there'll be ka-ching, ka-ching for the Labor Party and the Greens. So we can't have that, Mr Speaker. But we're making a very big investment, and also working to invest in the electric trains alongside Auckland as well, Mr Speaker. And of course we are prepared to evaluate further projects, including the CBD rail link, but as the member will know, if he takes off his rose-tinted glasses, there's a lot of work to do in that area before that is ready to go. And that fabled 20% increase, well, you take 20% of 1.5%, and yes, you are making good progress. And I do think it is great that all these people use the train on Saturday night. I think that's fantastic. Of course, the price was pretty good, but nevertheless, they did, and it's progress. And we do need the train system to work well, as we need the roads to work well, and that's why you can't take a blinkered approach to transport, Mr Chair. We've also, and that's why the government is investing very significant sums right across the transport system, with the investments in the Western Ring Route, and just this weekend the Hobsonville deviation was opened. We've heard that the Victoria Park Tunnel is ahead of plan, and there are a number of other projects that are proceeding around the country. Mr Chair, I just would like to mention, before I sit down, the road safety policy, because I think that's very important as well. And again, it's about achieving outcomes. And one of the interesting things is that people always say, oh, well, you should spend more on something. Well, actually, we're spending better on road safety. We're spending better, and we're getting better accountability. Now, I don't know the reason why, exactly why we're at a 12-month, we're at the lowest 12-month rolling road toll that New Zealand has ever had at this point. And certainly, I don't think it's right as a government to claim credit for that, because it's a range of things that have occurred. But it does include things like the price of fuel. It does include things like better enforcement.
I'm sorry to interrupt the Honourable Minister. The time has come for me to leave the chair. This debate is interrupted. I shall resume the chair at 7:30.